I'm going to call this Why I Want Rank. There's a virtue in, not really all, but in quite a few segments of the martial arts community where they feel as though it's a good thing to not be obsessed with rank. And I can agree with that to a large extent. You know, to not get overly carried away with rank, not be so hung up on rank that you can't learn from somebody who technically is a lower rank than you or something like that. You know, because you should value people based on just what they know and what they're willing to share, you know. There should be no shame in an 8th degree, learning from a 1st degree, or even a white belt or whatever. Because sometimes rank doesn't necessarily correlate with knowledge and experience. And I get that, and I'm fine with that. But there are a couple of reasons why I do want rank. The main reason is that if you don't have rank, it's hard for you to continue your style in a manner that's going to be accessible to the general public. And what I mean by that is, let's say, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. Like, I was up for black belt in Tang Soo Do. I couldn't take the test. And I stopped going to class, but I was still training and practicing. And quite a few times I've been approached by people to run a class. And one guy was going to let me run the class even though I didn't have the black belt. But I told him no. No, I want to get a black belt in something before I start teaching, because I know once I start teaching, it's going to be even harder for me to get rank. But you know, the average person is not going to want to train under somebody who's not at least a black belt in whatever it is they're studying, with the exception of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because I think it's understood that a purple belt is an instructor. Like a BJJ purple belt is actually like a first dan in other traditional styles. So if you don't have the pedigree to be recognized as competent by the general public, ain't nobody going to train with you. Or very few people will. Look at it like this. Would you go on the internet, let's say somebody advertised they know X style on the internet, and they don't have something that says that they're certified to teach that style. Would you train with them? Of course not. Some of you don't even want to train with people who've made up their own styles, who've declared their own styles like I have. So, if you don't want to train with people who have made up a style, why would you not even want to train with someone who is not even ranked in styles that you are comfortable, recognize? Most people aren't going to do that. And I know if you're teaching out the Recs like I am, most rec centers are not going to touch you if you don't have a black belt in something. They don't even care whether it's an internationally recognized organization or not. They just want to know that somebody else said that you know what you're doing. And I find that's all a lot of parents really care about. Somebody else say you know what you're doing. They don't really care about the big org thing because they don't want to pay the big org fees. But they just want third-party validation that this person they're calling instructor is competent. And I think that's reasonable. So that's one of the main reasons why I want rank, is so that I can pass on the art if I so choose. Or if there's nobody else there to pass it on but me, I'm competent enough to pass it on. Which segues into the other reason why I want rank, is so that I can promote and uplift other people. So I can do more for them than bring them to, oh, I can only promote you to brown belt. At least I can promote people to first degree black belt. In at least 2 styles, I can promote you to 4th in my own Taekwondo system. But I can uplift others. I can help others be recognized for their hard work. Now, if I decide to say, well, I'm just going to stay brown belt, green belt, blue belt, purple belt, yellow belt, and just learn and go along for the journey, I wouldn't be able to promote other people. In fact, there'd be at least 2 community centers that may not have an instructor right now. That means it's possible that there may be at least, I teach about maybe, I guess, 100 people a year, something like that. At this point, it could be close to 1,000 people at this point who probably would have never been exposed to the martial arts. If I'd never got the black belt in anything. Now, we can say that, yeah, sure, somebody else would have picked up the slack, but we don't know that. I think the first community center I was at, I don't think they had an instructor for a year, 2 years. So if I'm teaching about, if I think I teach about 100 people a year, close to that, that means there's a couple of hundred people that probably never got exposed to the martial arts. We could assume all they went elsewhere, but maybe they didn't. You don't know that. So that's why I want rank. You need rank in order for the martial arts to carry on. You need rank so that we can create more people who are qualified to teach the martial arts. That's why you need rank. Now, I can understand if you don't want to be, if you don't want to take all the time up there to get the uber high 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever. But come on, people. If we're going to keep this thing going, if we're going to keep our different styles going, you know what we're going to need? We're going to need rank. Peace.